When you look at this team, this Packers team, you see a little bit of the, hey, no Nathaniel Hackett, no Luke Getsy, bringing in new guys, bringing in same system, but different play caller, different methodology throughout the week. There's an opportunity for the Bears to sneak one here. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm not saying that I think that's what's going to happen, but there's an opportunity early on in the season. Now, later in the season, when the Packers are rolling right, could be a completely different situation. But early on in the season, there's an opportunity for the Bears to snag one here. And the one thing that I think the Bears are really going to have to improve upon, if they're going to steal a game in Green Bay, the one thing that I'm looking at, you have to stop the run. Elijah Mitchell ends up going down, I believe he tears his ACL, right? And so he's going to miss pretty much the season for the 49ers, and that's a big blow to that 49ers team. But you have to find a way to stop the run, and that was something that the Bears were not able to do in that first half of football while Mitchell was out there. I think right now the receivers and Rodgers just don't have the rapport that they need to get the job done. I think right now the receivers and Rodgers don't have the rapport to get the job done. Not to say that it doesn't end in a win for them, but like versus these top teams, these top tier teams, there's not that, okay, it's a well-oiled machine and I'm going to be able to just go out here and play ball. And I think that's kind of what they thought. And it's how Aaron Rodgers always plays it, right? Like, we know how Aaron Rodgers is. He's not playing in the preseason. He's not going out there and slinging it to these guys yet. He's going to let Jordan Love get all his reps because he knows that Jordan Love is going to need the reps more than anybody. So let him get the reps in. But, you know, when to me, the advantage there means in this game, they're going to come back and be a lot more run heavy in game 2 of this. Because they do have two phenomenal running backs on this team in A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones that you look at and say, yeah, that's going to be tough to stop. By the way, they're both pass-catching backs. So to me, the biggest thing that the Bears have to figure out going into this game is how to slow down the run. If you can make the Packers, and I know it sounds crazy, but one-dimensional to where Aaron Rodgers has to throw to these new receivers more than he wants to, that's where you find your way into, okay, we're keeping this game close. Maybe we can sneak one out. Now, at the end of the day, still Aaron Rodgers. And I don't expect the Bears to do enough to stop him. I just don't, right? I think that they'll make things harder for him, but Aaron Rodgers is the one quarterback that you look at and you say, hey, we're going to blitz him. He still gets the ball off. Hey, we're going to drop everybody back in coverage. He still gets the ball off. The thing is now, can you make his life difficult enough by taking away that running game to where, okay, guess what? I don't have a choice. I have to throw the ball here. I have to get the ball to these receivers who really didn't show me much in week 1, who really didn't show me that they're going to be able to come out and do what we need them to do. I think that's where you look at the most to me and say, okay, maybe there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. That's the one way to me the Bears have a chance. Other side of the ball, right? I think we will see more of a offensive passing game from Justin Fields. I think we will see more of the Bears moving the ball through the air than we saw in that first game. It is still going to be raining. At least it's slated to be, I think, a 7:30 kickoff. It's going to be raining. So it's still slated to be raining. So maybe they still throw the ball a little bit less. But to me, that's okay, right? Like Yerk was breaking down where he said he doesn't like that they were running to an 8-man front, but because of the weather conditions, he understood. I think here, right, unless you're getting torrential downpours, you're not going to see the field be the way it was in Chicago because they've got like piping and ventilation and stuff like that. That allows the water to go through so that the Bears don't have that issue, or so that the Packers don't have that issue. So I think that he'll be able to pass it a little bit more, right? Because he said in that first half, we heard Justin talking where he basically was like, it didn't matter if I had the gloves on or not. Like, the ball was just soaking wet because there was a pool of water underneath. So I think that, to me, the one thing that the Bears are going to be able to do a little bit more, not much, is you're going to see them move the ball through the air. I think that is an advantage, right? Their DBs look a little bit lost right now as well early on in this thing. And here's the one thing you got to look at, right? The Chicago Bears are planning on doing one thing really well. And if they're able to do that thing really well, also, I don't see Montgomery getting another 1.5 yards per carry. The Packers gave up 126 rushing yards in that first week. Now, a lot of that right towards the end of the game because it had already gotten beaten down and it was just a consistent, like, okay, they're running. And they had that last drive by the end of it where they were able to really run the ball on them. But at the end of the day, bro, like, that's what the Bears are going to do. It's going to be a ground and pound kind of game, a little bit of play action, a little bit of RPO, but mostly that ground and pound kind of game. And I think that 110%, if you continue to put the pressure on them to run the ball, it's going to open things up for your passing game to where, listen, again, keeping it close, but those DBs, a little bit iffy. Can Justin get a deep shot in there? Can you get something into the hands of Equinemius? Can you get something into the hands of Darnell Mooney? Can you get something into the hands of Pringle? And I'll tell you what, boy, did y'all see that route that Justin Jefferson put them boys on? Woo! On Jair Alexander? Boy, let me tell you this right now. At the end of the day, you weren't there. And Darnell Mooney is a really good route runner. So I hope you stay with him all day, my boy. But I think that right at the end, this is a season where it's going to be a lot of these grinded out, fight it out games. You're going to need to see this defense step up. This defense is definitely ahead of the offense. And if the Bears are going to sneak out a win, you're going to need to see this defense step up, getting pressure on Rodgers, getting into the backfield, bringing him down. That's what it comes down to. Forcing him to throw the ball to these wide receivers. If you allow them to run the ball well, you will have a long day. And it's going to be really weird to see kind of like the same system going back and forth. Because literally, I'm telling y'all, if y'all haven't watched Bears football enough. If when you see that, like, the offensive line push everybody and they're shifting right and they get a good push to the right and then the quarterback's rolling out left and he's just got all the time in the world to be like, yep, right there, boom. If y'all don't see that when Justin does that, if it doesn't just make your Aaron Rodgers sense tingle a little bit, you ain't been watching Bears football, because that's exactly what that is.